Time Podcast here with Sam Nunez,
DJ Young Sam,
and Mr. K. Stay Roman,
and Darius J.
All right, Darius J. What's up, man? How you doing? What's up, guys?
Welcome to It's Time Podcast.
Man, feeling good. Glad to be in the building.
Good to have you.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh man, just businessman, artist. Just working, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're from Houston, right?
Born and raised Houston, Texas, south side of Houston.
Okay. What part of South Side?
Harlem Clark area.
Harlem Clark. Okay,
Yeah.
so you familiar with propane and?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Absolutely.
So what production of what kind of stuff do you do?
So we do songwriting. We're in the R&B, pop. Mainly R&B though, but we dibble and dabble in a couple of genres.
Describe your style, like if anybody could compare your style to what genre you would be in. We're not even genre. Let's just say
what's an artist we can compare you to?
What's the artist we can compare
Trey
you to?
Songz, Chris Brown,
Drake.
Chris Brown.
Rapping R&B.
Nah, it'll be more towards the Bryson Tillers,
Tiller type
the Tory Lanez, more than that type of feel of music, man. I can compare myself to that, yeah.
Okay, so what was your inspiration to doing music?
Oh man, years ago, my uncle was a bad producer, man. He worked with Kim Burrell, James Fortune, Carl Thomas. Just being around those people and seeing them record kind of really motivated me to be a better artist or just get into the artistry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've been in the industry for what years and 10 years, 8 years, all your life since you were a kid?
Yeah. I would say all my life. I mean, whether I was just sitting back, just watching it manifest and watching them do what they do, but I've been around it my whole life, man. So
when did you start thinking yourself as an entrepreneur and an artist? When did you realize you had to be an entrepreneur in order to be an artist?
To answer that correctly, I would have to say out of high school. Mostly when you in high school, you just whatever that dream is, you just focused on that and that's it. But then when you get out of high school and get grown, you realize, I got to do this X, Y, Z to try to get to being an artist. It comes with a lot of things. So you have to be very self-sufficient to be able to support yourself as an artist for sure.
I think it's the biggest struggle is I think a lot of people as artists think they're just going to hit a hit song and then it's going to go. I think I know enough people in the industry that have hit music they're sitting on for years, 2-3 years.
Absolutely.
Before they get the hustle down and then realize that, I got to do this, and this before this even makes sense to anybody.
I agree.
So where are you at in that voyage?
Yeah, like I say, just to hit right what you just said, man. You can get your finances together, and then you can focus on being a true artist and
your team. Don't forget about the team. Your team is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. The team is. You can't do anything without a team. Even if you're an entrepreneur, it takes a team.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely for sure.
I think as an entrepreneur, to relate with that in music, is that even to this day, I have found success, right? I've found my glory to say I've made it as an entrepreneur and I could do this full time. But everybody I thought that was on my team coming into it wasn't there to be on my team through it. I think that we're still going through that and still trying to discover who are the people that we need to keep into this voyage and venture to grow, and who is it that doesn't fit that we need to go through. We need to get rid of them and set boundaries and just let go of those people.
That's the growth process too. It's almost like a snake shedding off his skin.
Oh yeah.
So it's that's the whole part of the growth. Some people gonna stick around, some people gonna be shedded off, and it's just how it happened. Some people are part of the process, but they're not a part of the success story. They're not
the day
gonna
ones.
be at the ends.
The day ones. We use that a lot, right?
Yeah.
The day ones.
And that's the main ones that's gonna be with you. The day ones. That's the ones that's gonna ride with you.
Those are gonna ride with you. They're gonna ride.
But how many of y'all have come up with your day ones that you had to let go in order to have a day two? And as an entrepreneur.
We all had to do that. Even when it comes, if you have
I still go through that.
You got to 5 friends, you might have to 5 family members, but at the end of the day, it's do I want to see my company grow, or I want to keep being in my feelings and basically keeping somebody around just because I love them? Because love will make you fall victim to loyalty, to some dumb loyalty, basically.
Absolutely.
So
I definitely can agree to that.
I think even firing family, I literally had to fire my mom. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a hard conversation to have.
Well,
like,
you had to fire your mom.
Your mom.
You fired your mom?
Well,
I mean, but you got to think like how many people are so close to you and that you love so much that you have to cut them in order for them to grow. Not only for you to grow, but for them to grow. And I think a lot of like you'll never pass that. Like at every level, I've heard that I've had friends that would have make $300 million a year, cutting people that in order for those people to grow.
Yeah. I agree to the mom part. They always say like your mom love you, but she don't respect you. But as a stranger, they respect the stranger, but they don't love the stranger, right? So you can come to your mom with this $100 million idea, right? But she's like, oh, that's my son. I don't believe that. I can't see my son doing that because it's her son. You get what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because I feel like my mama was the opposite. Like she basically, if I said I wanted to be an astronaut, she gonna go buy me the suit. Like if I want to be a DJ, when I wanted to be a DJ, she bought me the turntable, told me go ahead and do it. If I wanted to be a rapper, she went and bought me the karaoke machine to do it. So
your mother was supportive then.
Everything that I wanted to do, like I've always had the gidgets and gadgets coming up. So, but also I do know people that's been the opposite where they saying, Mom, I want to do this, and they say, nah, you can't do that. But that's basically because they've never seen that happen in the family. Like to be a first generation billionaire, they have never seen that it happen in the family. It look like people that's only on TV to them.
Exactly.
And some people be kind of stuck in that mind frame, like I'm gonna work 5 days, I'm gonna be off 2 days, and then go back to do it every day. But
that's just how they was taught. It was the generational thing.
Exactly.
I think I've had to separate from the non-believers. I think there were some believers. Like you can have believers coming into an idea, right? Like the first time I was going to join the military, everybody was like, "No, you're not going to join the military." The non-believers came in, and then I had one believer out of everybody that helped me and put me in a mindset to where I can do it. Yeah. But you can't deny how a non-believer feels about you and what you're trying to do. And those non-believers can impact you on your growth, your mindset, and everything. And the closer you get to them, and the closer they are to you, the more impact that they have on you. And you could be able to go to the next level, but so many people keep this negativity around them that it's hard for you to go to the next level because they're so comfortable in your own success that it's not that they don't want to see you be successful. They just don't want to. They don't understand the next level because you've already surpassed.
They don't want to lose you. Sometimes they want to keep you. Like if you get too big, now I can't call on you like I want to call you. So sometimes
and then too, they don't see themselves as valuable as you are, and that can space you guys apart. Like you say, they'd be afraid to lose you, but because they can't find a niche for themselves to be as valuable.
And that's the thing too. We also had that problem where, let's just say business people. I have no problem with conducting business with people that I love, but I'm gonna handle you like a worker when it's work time. And if we're a family member, I handle you on family time. But a lot of people don't know how to separate that. So your family member might feel like you acting like an asshole, but I'm like, nah, I'm handling you like I would handle anything else if you was an employee. There's no feelings attached to it. It's like, hey, you messed up. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because you my family. I'm gonna tell you messed up and this is out of line, or you might get fired, and it's just how it is. And that's a lot of things family don't want to
say. Working with your spouse.
Working with your spouse. It's like this. Watch, like I put my wife, she's a part of the industry and everything else, and I'm always constantly like, hey, she's like, no, we gotta do it like this because we gotta be in top of the game. We gotta be top of the game, and it's like, okay, all right. So it's a back and forth where it's like she holds me accountable in a lot of things, and I hold her accountable in a lot of things. Where it's like, in this industry, when I'm in, she's not my wife. She's my partner. She's like, we look at each other. Look, in this industry, you don't say I'm your husband. You're not saying you're my wife. We're partners in this industry. We're gonna work together, and we're gonna make things happen. So it's a back and forth. And there's times where it's like, bro, I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. I'm gonna do my handle my business over here.
I felt that way.
And the vice versa, she'll do with me. She would be telling me like, I can't stand you right now. I'm like, well, I can't stand you either. I'm gonna focus over here. I gotta do my business. So. It's one thing is putting going back with your family, bringing your family in this industry. I had to get rid of my brother. I know you're listening to this, but I had to get rid of my brother. It's like, hey, bro, it's not gonna happen here. We're not speaking the same philosophy, the same language here. And with all respect, with all love, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
but.
Well, what about the family members that feel like they can, go the extra mile, or they can get a lot of excused points just because they family?
But I think at a certain level we create so many standards that we know if we let something in that doesn't exceed these standards is going to bring us down. So I feel like as I grow and as I come deeper in success, like I can't tolerate the things that I once tolerated. Like, and then a lot of that has to do, I feel like I have to heal and not accept what I've always accepted in my life, to have things that's more than what to exceed the vision through. I have to stop accepting minimalist and minimum standards and minimum ways of being.
Right.
And then I got to be better in order to exceed and excel, and then have the intuition to identify those things that are happening.
And then too, you got people that's not growing at the same rate that you growing. Like you could be growing fast. Like you could be constantly putting your grind in every day, and they might not live it like you live it. And at times, that's what happens. You end up going so fast, and they still back here. They're moving, but they not moving at the pace you need. And like at the end of the day, you got no room for mistakes where you headed. Like,
it's you know why? It's because they're comfortable where they're at. They don't see. And I go through the same situation where you're telling your people, come on, let's go, guys. We're gonna get up there. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And they're like, yeah. They just say okay, yeah. But when you're about to do the work, they're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
You know? So one thing that I realize is, in this industry, you know, your people that are with you, they're gonna be with you just temporary. They're not here forever. And that's one thing that I'm starting to realize, that these people are not gonna be here forever. They might be, it's a seasonal. They might be just gonna be here just a temporary, maybe 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, but they're gonna move on with doing something else. Sometimes we as leaders or as entrepreneurs, we wanna bring us to success. Hey, we're gonna be here for the next 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? It's only maybe in that moment that we're supposed to be.
But even in age, I found, like, you know, we're similar in age. Like, I feel like as I've grown older, I see the demographics changing in the youth, and I have to realize that, okay, if I hire somebody, they might be with me 2 to 3 years.
Right.
The buy-in of the new people that you're hiring is not 100% bought in on your mission.
Right.
They're bought into 100% of their mission and what they want to accomplish, and you're able to grow them and raise them to a point where they're going to eventually leave you and be okay with the processes that they are able to solidify and improve within your company in order for them to transition on. And then the goal and the challenge, I think, behind that is to bring somebody in that can do those tasks at that level. Right. So you really got to get to know, like, the person that you're bringing in that's raising these levels, because you're going to have to replace that person with somebody that can go to the next level.
Right.
And that challenges you, it challenges everybody in the organization, and it's scary. But I think it's a good transition. So when somebody leaves your organization, it's not something bad. It's your ability to say, okay, I need to get ready for this process and transition, and have communication with your people that are around you. Say, what is your goals? What is your ambitions? What do you want to do in your life? Because it won't be a surprise when this person is having a baby, or this person's having a life-altering, you know, they're finishing college, or they're doing something like to go to the next level. You either prepare to keep them on board, or you prepared to help them transition and replace them.
Exactly.
Right. So what's your work ethic like right now? Like, as far as like songs, do you have a lot of records recorded already? Like albums?
Yeah. I'm always recording. I mean, again,
like how often you record?
I mean, recording was just like therapy for me. So, I mean, I'm recording probably about 4 or 5 songs a week, you know, just because, you know, it's slowed down due to other business. But I'm always recording. Again, it's like therapy to me. You know, I remember starting out, I would have to write songs. Now I guess it's to the point where, you know, you just get in there and just lay it down.
Right. So do you do anything outside of singing? Like, do you do any recording, beat making, anything like that?
Man, I play a few instruments, man, but I never really got into beat making. It's bad. I mean, the ideas, I can tell you what I want, but I just never really spent the time to,
I think it's important too. Like, I mean, again, I'm in the music mix, but not like, but what I see and the success that I see is that you have to diversify yourself in every aspect of music and have knowledge base in everything, right?
Right.
So if you know video, you know what to tell your videographer and how you want your video to look for your songs. Like, producers, like you got to get behind there and DJ or produce,
Absolutely.
or understand like mixes, understand loops, understand like what kind of vibe you're on, so you can get on that type of beat.
Absolutely.
And get your your
Absolutely.
fan base down.
Absolutely, and I think that it's like a lot of times you recording and you finding your sound and you spending a lot of that time in the studio to where you can be like, hey, you know what, I need this plug in, I want this sound to sound like that.
Yeah.
I need some strings right here. You start to become more creative the more you spend that mesh with your producer or engineer or whoever that is that you're with in the studio. So I definitely agree. You will become diverse when you spend that time. Yeah.
Right.
I think we take away from a lot of industries. I think by being in music and doing music myself, it's like I feel like I've got to learn more about my business and what I got to learn in every aspect of it. And even like with music videos and stuff and things, I've been behind, I've backed artists and done different things, and I feel like learning the music video, like how to compile, how to make it, do treatments, do all these things, like I've been able to bring that concept into my company in order to make really great videos for the company that's different from everybody else. I know how to like brand everything and have a voice and have an understanding of like who my fan base is because of music. So I think music stretches far more than just being an artist.
Absolutely.
I feel like there's a whole entire business around it, and I always tell people like you need to learn two things: music and business, because that's music business.
It's 80% business.
80%.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
So like, how are you on your business? Like, do you take care of your own publishing and things like that? Like as far as registering your music?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to learn the business, man. You can't just be a fish on a string out here, man. Cause
so where did you get your knowledge from?
Just growing up in those times, man. I come from an era where, it was '90s music, and things was really done by the labels then, and watching their mistakes, and, so you learn a lot coming from that era versus now, where a lot of the times most artists can do a lot on their own and go out and throw up a song on. Exactly.
Now, what did y'all think about Genuine's little thing?
I don't know.
You do that pop.
Yeah, I was like, I felt like Genuine's head got bigger, right? Like, is it just me or does his head get
No,
bigger?
man, boys be getting slim. They get that weight on it, then they get slim. And then you getting older. Getting older, the body started. Get a little loose.
It's starting to structure.
That's not the same OG I know.
Nah, that definitely ain't the same OG.
Yeah, man, he just got a little older. That's all it is.
Everybody gets older.
But I mean, it's saying that as in age and everything as an artist, like I feel like we have to be able to realize that we're going to be looking like that, doing that dance one day. One day we're going to be in our company too long and leading it too long, or be that artist for too long, or we really have to, like, I have to sit sometimes and be like, I'm going to expire. I'm 40 years old. I'm about to hit 40 like in a couple of months, and it's coming to my life. It's coming to my realization that I need to start working harder and more efficient, so I don't have to be that same OG.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't feel like that. I feel like with long as we taking care of our body,
I was gonna say the same thing.
Constantly moving.
I mean, I don't look 40. Come on.
You have to be exercising. That's one. You got to eat good. The lasagna and pasta. If you're eating pizzas and stuff like that, you got to get rid of all that.
You're saying my
and then the rest. You gotta get good.
Yeah, you gotta get your rest. Definitely.
You gotta
rest, exercise, eating the right things. Like you'll be around to about 107.
Even with getting rest, I've learned that I love to get rest. I love to get sleep. I love to get naps. I love to do all these things, and I become more efficient as I become more lazier.
Yeah.
And I say that is because like there's a lot of things I'm super lazy about because I've just been a leader in of an organization of all different things for so long that I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna have somebody else do it for me. But in doing that, like, I feel like it's okay to be lazy in some aspect because you empower others around you. Mm-hmm. I feel like when you're young, you're not lazy. You're just like, I'm gonna be in charge of everything.
You're gonna do everything yourself.
Sometimes you want to take the whole responsibility in leading your organization.
Exactly.
Now, I wouldn't consider it lazy. I just think you're empowering other individuals to be more more efficient now.
Well, I'm being lazy.
You being lazy?
All
right, he's being lazy. And I was trying to help him out and everything, and he's just saying he's being lazy. All right.
So like, what projects you got right now? What's your latest project? You got a mixtape or an album or EP out?
I got an EP in the archive, but right now I just dropped a single called "Hit Different."
Hit Different. Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty dope.
It's called what?
Hit Different.
Hit Different.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hit
Who
Different.
produced it?
Hit Different. So my boy
BC,
BC.
I know BC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Necro.
BC been in the game for a minute.
Yeah, my boy. So
didn't he? I think he had some parts to do with a Beyonce record or some a while back, right? Yeah.
Yep. So good dude. He produced the record. And shoot, man, we took some of that Louisiana vibe and Texas vibe and kind of put it together.
Right.
And made a record, man. So
is that the one that you were sharing with me that day? No, that wasn't it.
You never heard it.
I never heard it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So man, it's pretty cool. And then after that, we got the EP gonna come after that one. So yeah.
So you're on Apple Music, Spotify, all that.
Absolutely.
So what's the name of the label?
So it's called Area 57 Music Group.
Okay, so y'all independent.
Yeah, independent. We do a lot of the distribution through 1 RPM.
1 RPM. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's this independent track, right? There's always this, even as being an entrepreneur, we're like, hey, like we call it bootstrap.
Yeah.
When you're a bootstrap, you're independent. Right?
Yeah.
And there's this pride and there's this thing about being independent that gives you the sense of like, I did this by myself. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people that are first time entrepreneurs or first time did it themselves type, that come from nothing, no money, no nothing, no anything, that gives the ability of say, hey, like I'm bootstrapped.
Yeah.
But what I'm realizing too is like as I grow in age and in the company, right? Like being bootstrapped is always not the best idea all the time.
True.
So you got to be open to the fact that I might need to sign to a label.
Absolutely.
And what does that look like?
Absolutely.
And I feel like as a company, I always prepare myself. I want to prepare myself to say, hey, one day I'm going to inherit or take on the responsibility of an investor.
Absolutely.
And I think that there's a lot of responsibility and preparation that comes to that. And a lot of people that don't prepare, you hear about them signing bad contracts. Mm-hmm. Always, they're in a position of uncertainty with their label or with their investors. I feel like it's a good idea to prepare yourself. And what does that look like? Surround yourself with people that have signed the labels, that have gotten screwed, or been successful, or what it is that you're searching for when you mature this. Because your label, you might hit as an artist, or you might have an artist that you take under your belt that goes and hits it as an artist. But you got to say, okay, you got to swallow that pride and be like, okay, I can only take you to where I know, but you have the ability to go to the next level. But here's what it looks like. Mm-hmm. And I call that leadership.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. And I think most people too, when you think about bad deals, most people just look at that current situation that they in and they just don't really think and just do, like they know they can suppress whatever the situation they going.
100,000 looks like a lot.
The average person,
$100,000 is not a lot.
Thinking 6 months down the line, or even thinking a year down the line. Because if you can look at life from 2-3 years from now, you could be in a whole better situation. But a lot of people, like you say, you looking for that right now money. Man, I got these bills.
Exactly.
This $10,000 to work out good for me, but they don't understand. That's paying rent 10 times.
I got bills right now.
Yeah. And it ain't rent because rent about $2,000.
For real.
So at the end of the day, it's like, that's what artists, I feel like artists, they don't pay attention to those things. Like somebody come to you with a $20,000, but they come to, they lowballing.
Yeah.
They give them 20.
They're giving 20?
50.
Yeah, I can't remember what was that one artist that was still.
Yeah, and they jumping for it because think about it.
Really?
Who?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember that one artist.
AP, you get 100 in the AP.
Yeah, in the AP. It's still.
How you feel about selling your masters? Would you sell your masters?
Nah, I wouldn't sell.
Would you give a portion of it up?
But so when you
it just depends, right? You know, so like if I know like you were saying, right, you know your water or your well is gonna run dry at some point, right? You know you gotta go to that next level.
Yeah.
Right.
So you gotta sacrifice a little bit.
Yeah,
but you're
you
not
give
gonna
a little
give it
bit,
all
but I'm
up.
not gonna give it all up, right?
Yeah.
But what does your masters give you?
So I mean that gives you all your money.
Yeah, that's ownership of your music.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if you really think about it, like, if you own your masters, right? Mm-hmm. What does that give you?
That gives you. That's basically your money. Your passive income. That's your passive income.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you can give away your masters, right, and still keep royalties or negotiate other aspects of your business. Like you keep your show money, you keep this money, you keep that money. But I think you got to really understand where you are making your money in order to have a negotiation of your masters and all these other things, right? Because if you can value, for instance, like if I'm a Houston artist, I've been in Houston, I have a fan base here. I'm gonna get booked by Camp. I'm gonna get booked by so and so and blah blah blah. Like, and I got forever songs here for people coming in and traveling.
And then I think it's just really the level you want to be on. Like you can be
on and sustain.
Yeah, you can be on a regular level.
Anybody can get in the top.
Yeah, right.
Everybody can be there, but it's maintaining the top.
Because there's different types of level of being known. Right?
Like for instance, if Chris Brown gave away his masters, I think he'd be okay just doing tours and just getting paid show money.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to think about the wear and tear on the body. So after a while, doing all these shows. And
then ask yourself, can he give away tours to his kids? You get what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
But say if he invested that money though for that tour money, and he has long money, and as an entrepreneur and as in another area of his life. Maybe he took his money, his initial show money. You got to think he's been around since before Facebook, right?
For sure.
What if he was a first investor in Facebook and he has like 100,000 stocks, like shares in Facebook?
Yeah, and I feel like all of that works, right? But I look
like
at
Chameleonaire, prime example.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care about what royalties, whatever.
Well, that's why I say it's different levels, right?
I think he owned his stuff though.
Yeah, because he's just a smart businessman.
Right, exactly.
Hey, so do you own all your stuff?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Everything it's yours,
absolutely,
all you.
Absolutely.
I feel like no artist should give away their masters to nobody. I feel like they can give a portion, negotiate a portion.
Right, you can, and that's fine.
For a period of time too.
Right, for a period of time.
Absolutely.
Because
and what's a good time for you? What, 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 2 years?
It just depends.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of people gotta look at business like this here. Okay, if I'm gonna give you access at my masters, I'm gonna think about, okay, how much do I make a year on my masters? Mm-hmm. You finna give me this certain amount up front. Okay, think about how they gonna make their money back.
Right.
Or is it a win-win situation for them or whatever? Because that's mainly what the investors want. They want to get their money back, then some.
Mm-hmm. But it's good to look at all sides and aspects of it. Like it's not like, I think we shouldn't go into things like saying I'm not going to take an investor, I'm not going to sell my masters because something personally, right? Like just saying like this. I think we can get in a culture of pride of like, oh, I'm not going to do that because we've been taught and like not to do that, right? But you got to make sense of it, though. Like, in order to do a good deal, you got to make sense of everything you're told.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this: if you was holding on to Michael Jackson's masters, would you sell it?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, no, because that's I still listen to Michael Jackson.
I still listen to Michael Jackson.
But you don't listen to Michael Jackson. What I'm saying? If it becomes valuable, like then you sell it, then you get rid of it.
Yeah, and then you think about it too when you say his kids, like a lot of times, let's just say he might invest in real estate or something, but the kids coming straight up out of school, they don't know nothing about real estate, so how can they keep the business afloat? But
exactly.
People constantly listen to music. We always going back to that Michael Jackson album some point of time, so it's like
sampling and all that.
Exactly. So
exactly.
Music is something that's going to be around forever, so it's like for you to give that away, a lot of the new artists, now we're knowing like, okay, I'm not going to ever sell my masters completely. If I sell my masters, if you coming for my masters, that means I got something that you feel is valuable.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, why would I give it all completely away?
Exactly.
And a lot of people give it away because they want to go the easy way out. They don't want to come out with a rollout plan. They don't want to do the marketing. They don't want to do the promo. They don't want to
be lazy, as I was saying before.
Exactly.
So how much of Chris Brown's masters do you think he has given up?
Man, he probably giving up a good portion, but I don't think he's just giving it all up. But then he's a child star.
But then do you think he's giving up in phases, like at like say maybe like when he came out with his first record? I don't even know when he gave his record, but say he came out with his first record, he gave a certain portion, maybe signed a big deal. Is it kind of like the NBA? You think? Like I think it's like you have your rookie contract.
I think they invested in it forever.
Yeah.
It's about when they want to sell their portion of it.
But if you own a song, right? Like you own it forever.
Right.
It's gonna be played forever.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I even like the way Chameleonaire did a recent, I guess he did a deal a long time ago. They brought it back up. They wanted like they see me rolling, right?
Right.
So Riding Dirty, right?
Yeah.
So Riding Dirty, he got he did a deal with the record label to where they had to contact him if they were going to use that song, which gives him the ability to negotiate that music and that song for royalties and all that other stuff, placement, everything, like to keep the validity of the song, right? That's genius because it gives you power. Like, yeah, you've sold your masters, you have a deal on this master for this song, but it gives you the ability to control the narrative on the song. Right. So maybe doing a deal is not always bad, but make sure you can still control the narrative of the song and the placement and all that other stuff.
Absolutely. And you know what artists do? This is the main thing. They don't think to negotiate. That's just anybody. Let's just say if you go get a job and the job telling you we pay $25 an hour, you're not gonna think to say, well, hey, what about 26 or can we do 26 or whatever? Nobody thinks that you can negotiate at a job. But
it's also a poverty mindset. Like when I grew up as a kid, right, I was told like, hey, be quiet, don't ask questions, just shut up, sit down, you're bad. So when you get in a position of being successful and you have the opportunity to negotiate on your behalf, a lot of us tend to just be quiet.
Yeah, and then that goes back to
like be happy you're at where you're at right now.
And it goes back to when we was just talking about contracts, right? How artists don't really negotiate or ask, so they don't know to negotiate or get like legal advice. They don't do any of those things, and they just take the first.
How many of us know a lawyer that's like every time I had a lawyer was like issued by the court.
Right. But see, it's the thing about this.
But you don't have that at your disposal. But
reading those contracts, just really, it's certain little things that'll stick out to you in those contracts.
Some of them contracts are crazy. I mean, I've read contracts in real estate. I'm like, you know what? We're going to change this verbiage. I don't even know what this means.
Exactly.
To this day,
it's lawyer talk. That's what it is.
That's been my thing too. I've been telling people. I say right now, the music business has been going in this certain type of way. When are we going to change the structure of the contracts? Like, why does it have to be so complicated for the artist? It should say, hey, you're getting this amount, I'm getting this amount, this is your percentage, this is my percentage, what I put in, I want to get it back. Yep. It's plain and simple as that. Yep. As a businessman, you want to put money in, you want to get your money back up out of it, and you want to get a little bit more on top of it. That's an investment.
Yeah.
But now the contracts are so complicated to the point they don't want you to understand it. They want you to spend some money on it, but the average artist don't have the money. They want to confuse you.
Yeah. Confuse you in knowing what you're, because the verbiage on it, the language of it is so freaking big old words. Like, what is that talking about?
Exactly. So why does it have to be complicated?
Exactly.
If we all doing good business, it shouldn't be complicated.
Greed is greed.
Every complicated contract I've ever signed in my life, I've always regretted.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not one that I've been like, you know what, that deal was okay. Every single contract that I've signed that's been complicated, or somebody came and added something, like when somebody adds something after the fact, or right when you're signing, they're putting some agenda in there. There's an agenda coming.
It's an agenda in every contract. It just depends on how hard of the hit you want to take. When you sign the contract, it's every contract.
I don't think you need to take a hit. If you understand it,
then you build your value. Yeah, it's at that point.
I think you should look at it in a sense of like, what are we doing good business to where we're all walking away from this happy?
Right.
Some people want Instagram clout. Some people want money. Some people want.
So as a label, and I'm looking at you as an artist, right? Or I'm looking at the numbers, right? It's like, okay, you want my money and my help, right? So it's basically how valuable are you as the artist at this point? If you don't hold a lot of value and I'm taking more of a risk on you, then that determines a lot of things. You don't really have that much negotiating power.
But I also think you got to understand, like, shopping the label, shopping an investor, like when you start taking in money, you got to really understand the person that you're about to get in bed with.
Right.
Because you might wake up one day and be like, oh my God, I regret this.
I regret the hell out of it.
And 9 times out of 10, that's what happens.
Especially when the money run out. When you think this amount of money was good for you, and then you get to paying bills, and now you want to upgrade your lifestyle, but you can't maintain your lifestyle.
Right.
Now you're looking at the label like, hey, you've been messing with me, I need more money.
And that's why you build a value, right? So if you know that type of money is designed for you to go make the money back, how about you say, hey, well, listen, I want to add a house in my contract. How about I add this in my contract?
I just talked to an artist recently.
Things that you don't have to be worried about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just talked to a major artist recently, and he was negotiating his contract, signing this big deal, and he was coming to me, he's like, I want to buy an airplane. And I was like, man, why don't you just negotiate this? Because you're going to go on tour. You're gonna do all these things. You already have your own label, and you're already signed as a big label. You've already validated yourself. You've done.
He built the value.
You built the value. I said, negotiated. You want to buy a jet? Don't take the money they're getting for that you're signing for this deal.
Yeah,
it was good. Like $40 million. Like if you go sign a $40 million deal, they're already giving you $40 million. What's another 4, 5, 6 to help you go on tour?
Exactly.
Let's home package it directly, correctly, and bring it to them and bring it to the label and say, hey, I want to do this many shows. We already negotiated it. It's in the contract. I'm gonna do 100 shows. But versus you paying for every flight I go on and being reimbursed and doing all this stuff, let me get an airplane. You put it in the contract. I own the airplane. And then as an artist and as you're doing all these tours and all these other things, you can bring other people and rent out that airplane on top of that and make money when you're not using it. And now he's doing that.
And I'm gonna be honest,
he's doing more shows, making more money.
It's not the airplane that's so much expensive. It's the gas. It's the fuel.
It's the maintaining of the
Man.
But you got to think, so since then he's been doing shows outside of his normal shows, and he's getting so many opportunities to just move it around the country that he's able to be in places like he can do 2 or 3 shows like in one night, in one day, and that's like $40,000-$50,000 a show. That pays for itself.
Yeah.
I should have got paid for that. I actually got paid for that.
For that sauce.
I did not get paid for that.
I think that goes for a more established artist. I say somebody like Future or something like that. But when you first coming into the game, I feel like rappers right now, they damn near got like a 3-year span.
Yep.
But within them 3 years, either you gonna convert and become a Lil Baby, and then you gonna become a J. Cole or a Jay-Z, or you gonna fall off.
Yeah, you have to become a commercial artist.
Exactly.
Or you just gonna be a one-hit wonder.
Wouldn't be if you creating successors behind it? New incoming people are coming in the industry and promoting them and getting them lined up. I mean, I don't know.
What's funny is that there's a lot of nuts and bolts to every industry, right? I think a lot of people everybody wants to be the artist. Everybody.
Yeah.
You name it. Nobody in the music industry wants to be the producer, the DJ, the filmographer, or especially the engineer. Nobody wants to be an engineer.
Yeah, everybody,
like being a janitor.
Everybody in your camp at heart wants to be an artist.
But you gotta think.
Sometimes.
Whoa, hold on, time out there. What are you talking about that, Chris?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that because at the end of the day, you gotta let people experiment. Like me in my camp, I let people experiment. So if you see me making beats and you say, "Hey, I might want to make a beat," try it because you never know. You might be bringing something new to the game.
Right.
So I feel like let people try what they want to try because if it's not in them, you're gonna see it because they're gonna stop. It's gonna be a trend. They can't even keep up with it. But when you do this and you live it.
I think everybody has an opportunity. Everybody has an opportunity. Give it to them. Try it.
So what about the artist that has an official DJ, but the DJ is an artist too? Wants to be the artist.
But I think you got to figure out what you are.
I'm in that situation right now.
Yeah,
I'm Slim Thug DJ and I'm an artist at the same time.
Right.
But the thing about me is I've been doing music before I even met Slim. I gave Slim brother my demo in Guitar Center.
Come on.
So. Later on, but I only ended up being able to work with him through being a producer, through being a videographer, and then it's like later on, I never stopped doing music because I always been having a record label. So it's like,
but everybody gets to know you.
Yeah, but see, the thing about working with Slim not worrying about me being a rapper. He gonna support it, and because at the end of the day, it's not hurting him. As I expand more, now he got a DJ that's a great rapper, and he's my DJ. And at the end of the day, it's like I'm not missing those shows.
Yeah,
like I'm showing up for all his stuff.
You're at every show. You get to meet everybody.
Yeah.
And then y'all start following each other on IG. Everything starts happening. You got authentic relationships, and then you launch a song, and people are like, "Hey, Sam got
that's goddamn Sam."
That's goddamn.
That's like the greatest thing about it because like think about Slim right now. Slim is at the point in his career where he likes to go party now. He want to go take trips. So sometimes he might turn down a show.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like okay. I'm able to slide in, still be his DJ, and then have my music going on the side because I'm independent. I'm in control of my music. So if I don't want to take a show, I don't want to take a date or anything, I can set up my schedule how I want to. So I feel like let your camp do what they want to do. If they want to try to explore this because they might have came in doing this thing, but now they can help you out in some kind of other way.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and shout out to him. I still listen to Already Platinum.
Yeah, man. You got to get that Big Slim. That's his latest project. Check that one out.
Yeah. Now, man, me and him got got a record back in 2016. It was 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Me and him put one together. Yep.
Who, you and Slim?
Yeah.
That's dope. So who else? Some people from the city you work with?
Kiki, he called me and was like, man, come jump on the record. So I'm on Self-Made 3.
Okay, which record on there?
It's called Show Me the Love.
Show Me
it's
the
number
Love.
9. Yep.
Right, okay.
Yep. Me and what's her name? Martina. Is it Martina Marie?
Martina Marie.
Yeah.
That's one of my homegirls.
Yeah. She cool. She's super cool.
I got a whole album with her right now.
Yeah, oh, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. So, yeah, man, he for the longest, man, he would come on my grandmother's street, Harlem Clark.
Right.
And that's how we would always see each other. So I've been knowing him, way before the whole music thing with me, and so.
Right, that's what's up.
Yeah,
man.
So yeah, man, it's been a great journey. Shout out to B King too, man. We back when we was back in Legends.
Yeah.
Eating chicken wings.
Oh yeah. that right there is the strip club king that he gonna check for the wings.
Yeah.
He had us shooting a video at Onyx. I shot the Bust It Back video.
Okay.
And he had us at Onyx and he was down them wings then.
Yeah, man, you can't take them wings
recently,
away
right?
from him.
Nah. This is a while back. This is like before he even got the deal. He did a video at Onyx for a record called Bust It Back, but it was one of his big records.
Yep.
Like, he got a bunch of big records though. Shout out to B King, man.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
That's one of the most consistent artists I would say in Houston as far as like always having a club record. Like,
yeah, for sure.
We can play like 40 records on
back
B
to back,
and it's all hits.
Yeah, back to back, all the way back to
So
Crush.
do y'all feel like Houston, like the older people in Houston, like the Kikis, the Slims, and even older than them, right? Do you think they are contribute to the culture in the sense, but do you think that a lot of businesses changed since their time to now this time, and that they have like a bigger understanding of like the things that are coming out? Because I feel like sometimes in music I might hear, I'm like, who the hell likes this shit? And then it's a massive following behind it.
Yeah.
And so it's like I wonder if it's hard to kind of be like that deep into it, and then
I think they just a lot of the artists here are just still stuck in that culture that they've always been in. If that makes sense,
Most
it's
definitely.
not saying like they can't transition, but I guess they true to themselves, and just still in their culture.
So what you mean like still in their culture? So you saying as far as like the slab type of music?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you feel like they should get away from it, or do you feel like they should keep the sound alive?
I think it just depends on
Advance
them,
it.
because if they rep their culture and that's what they believe and love,
Right.
they don't have to do anything to please nobody else because it's an audience for everything.
I think what's going on right now is Houston, first of all, it's an independent city. We got a whole bunch of independent labels,
that's true.
whole bunch of people that's been making money from Texas, Louisiana, to all the little bottom states or whatever. So we've been kind of like stuck in this shell, stuck in this box. So
Exactly.
You can be a star on the north side of Houston. They know your song word for word, and then you go to the south side, they won't know you.
I don't know who you are though.
So it's like now with H-Town, it's like the culture. I feel like people now are starting to move in, and this is like one of the only cultures that still has a culture. Like West Coast, when you go to West Coast, you know
They
you're gonna
still
see
got-
lowriders. They got a culture.
You're gonna see that culture.
So I feel like the OGs, they keep it grounded. And the youngsters, I feel like they might venture off a little bit, but then they'll come back, and now you start to see the
Yeah,
swangers
'cause
in the
the
videos. So it's
culture.
like it's all being incorporated, but we can't wipe that legacy away. We got to keep that culture, because if we do that, then we start sounding like everybody else.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that in a lot of business, that I've always, even in like I've tried to like put what I think is a brand and a culture that I built and try to put it in other cultures, and it doesn't fit. And I feel like a lot of things in music can be the same way. It's like if you lose yourself and lose your culture, then it's not gonna thrive here anymore.
Yeah, it's not.
Right.
It's
And
not. It's not authentic. You know what I'm saying?
I think you got to be authentic to your culture, but advance it in a way that
Right.
makes sense to be sustained.
And I think they doing it. I think like Kiki did it. Like, I don't know if you heard the Sauce Walker and
Yeah.
Kiki
Yeah.
and Zero.
Even
Like,
Toby. Toby is taking
too.
it to a whole nother
Yeah,
level
whole
with
nother
the
le-
freestyle type rap.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
But I tell a lot of these guys, like, again, they're like my friends and stuff, and I tell them, like, man, you can still have another career. You still have more career to have. We go through phases in careers and things like there's all these guys on podcasts that I listen to all the time, right? And they're entrepreneurs. They've sold their companies, but they found new careers. Like they're doing shows, they're doing speaking engagements. They're advancing. They're placing their knowledge and experience into the hands of the youth.
Right.
And I think that it's like, but you gotta in our way, we pull out of the industry, pull out of the culture. And we go and we experience other cultures and say, hey, this is what this culture is doing over here.
Right.
This is how this looks over here for us. Like, just take this knowledge and experience and make it your own.
But we got a dope culture, man. Like, if I'm gonna be honest, like Jay-Z favorite artist is Scarface. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got a dope culture. You can't say it's not addictive.
You can't switch it up, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta add your own touch to it, because that's what everything is about. A lot of things right now, people are taking what's already been done and making it better. That's exactly with cars. That's with technology. Everything is just advancing.
Exactly.
So you take this Houston culture and you just add your spice to it.
But I feel like the business needs. I feel like so. This is what I'm gonna. Having been in Houston for a while now, right? I feel like the music culture is great, but we're forgetting a part of that, right? The business culture, the business side of music here, I feel like could be better.
Yeah, because they don't know.
Yeah, and
a lot. I think a lot of people just don't know. It's not, and they're not intentionally like hoarding or doing anything. And I've seen a lot of bickering back and forth about it, but. You gotta be able to advance your experience, and not only advance like the industry, but advance the culture and the business side of it.
Yeah, that too, and respectfully, correct me if I'm wrong, but the just being unified war too. You know, like if you in the A, everybody trying to put somebody on. You get what I'm saying? Here it's just like. You know, we clicked up. Like, but see, everybody want to be that guy.
That's the culture of Houston. Yeah. That's why it's so many stars in here. So I think like the industry, they kind of box Houston out because Houston got a certain mind frame. Yeah. And when you think about, I could just speak for, let's say, black people. I feel like we got different type of tribes. So it's different type of people. So when you go to Atlanta people, this is a tribe that kind of like stick together and whatever. Then you got
it's Southern hospitality, it's family.
It's family based. And then when you go to New York, it's a different type of tribe.
It's a hustle.
They different, right? So it's like when you come to Houston, it's like we all many stars. Like anybody come to a club that's a celebrity, might be like, oh, okay, that's such and such. He got diamonds. Okay, I got diamonds too. So it's like that's just Houston. We all just local stars out here, but. At the same time, like you said, on the business aspect, a lot of people don't know business. We know how to pop our trunk, sell CDs out of there. Now we switched it up to now we're not doing the CDs. We don't have the distribution. The small
so we're gonna do the merch.
We're gonna do the merch, and then we're gonna go through a distribution company like So South. That's somebody we can actually go into the office and talk to them, because the average artists don't know nothing about. Well, they probably knowing it now about DistroKid, but they don't really know how to go set it up. They know, hey, I need to get an account. They know I need to do some. They don't even really know about how to do their publishing or how to register their songs. So
it's funny, like DistroKid was my mentor. He was one of his mentees. Like DistroKid, they came out with the technology, everything, dudes like, and it turned into like this crazy company. Yeah. So that's what I want to see more in Houston, right? I think like I love the culture, I love the music, I love everything. But I feel like the technology aspect and understanding of business, and I'm not saying business in a way that everybody's doing business here. Yeah. But it's like the understanding and ability to grow this into the next Meta, the next Snapchat, the next this and that. Because we have the style, we have the culture, we have the food, we have every aspect of it. Yeah. But we don't tap into that.
And I think a lot of it being with the new people that are coming out are young, like the youth side of it. They just savvy. Absolutely. And and they can really take it to a whole nother level if they really applied it. You know what I'm saying? They know so much more technology than what even my age group grew up on. We didn't have the things that they got today. They grew up into it, so it was just like they got a lot easier.
They've been playing with technology since they were like freaking
and people don't even
10 years old.
Yeah, and then if you think about even back in MySpace, man, you was coding and didn't even know you was coding.
Exactly. Yeah. Man, MySpace days.
MySpace.
Oh, I remember MySpace back in the day.
I still never let that make an excuse for me. Like I think Slim is the one who told me about social media. He's like, man, you get on social media, you're missing out.
Yeah.
And then I started like taking like being serious about it, and I'm still trying to catch up to you, but it's
a job.
Yeah,
like,
it's a whole thing.
Tell me about that.
At first, when I first got on social media, I was like one of the main ones. Like I got verified on Twitter, like one of the first ones. So it was like now, when people start doing the content creating and constantly dropping stuff, I'm kind of like sitting here like, okay, I'm dropping a picture here and there, but it's like now I started getting into the whole content world, and it's like right now it's a job.
And algorithms.
Yeah, it's a job. I gotta go.
Yeah, I
gotta post it on my Instagram. I gotta post it on my TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. If I'm gonna put a video out, I might put it out on YouTube, and then you gotta put it on your website. It's like it's so many steps to it where it's a job now.
Yeah.
But what I love about it though is that I can literally sit on the couch and I could see like my cells going like this, and then I start doing post campaign, all this other stuff, and it starts going back up.
Exactly.
And it's like bam, 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 and I'm like,
yeah,
did it.
And that's the thing about a lot of artists don't do. They don't build up their content, because when you able to just sit back on the couch and just press buttons, they be seeing you on vacation now. The whole time you sitting at home, you not already created your content. You already got your promo going, so you can sit outside and smoke and chill.
And then they even got apps now where you can schedule it. You know, you can
schedule your posts.
Yeah, there's even like real. I do like a real hack. It's not a hack, but it like says, hey, it's like a stock. Like looking at a stock market, right? It says, hey, all these songs are trending. This is placement.
Giving you the game.
And it tells you how to do it. So it's like, I'll be like, okay, I don't like any of these songs. This is not my identity. It's not going to do anything. I can't make it real for this to go. Just because it's going doesn't mean it's going to go when you put you just put a dumb video behind it. So it's like, you've got to find the video that meshes with your identity of what your social media identity is or what your brand is, and then turn around and use that to your advantage and then do a placement of that. And then you gotta follow the narrative. Like if you can't, I can't post real estate and then turn around and say I'm a chef. Like they're gonna be like, that chef's gonna be like, nobody's gonna care about you being a chef.
So like for artists too though, like is the hashtags important, or I mean?
Hashtags is important.
Yeah.
Because I think hashtags, again, it's your identity, right? Like if you say hashtag horse and it's just a picture of a cat. Nobody's gonna look at the cat.
Yeah. But see, this how the hashtags work for me, because I put out a advertisement about shooting videos, and I said videographer in Houston, video deal. A girl told me I found you because I typed in video deal Houston.
Yep.
Right.
So it actually works.
Right.
Most definitely.
Right.
And you know what, matter of fact, I learned that from you also, even on the marketing side, when you say like as far as like the Google searches and stuff. So you definitely got to put them hashtags
and then keywords and all
keywords is
that.
number one thing.
And then Instagram is
keywords,
they giving you the $10 credits to boost your post, man.
$10 credits.
Yeah, they give you the $10 hot 10.
Facebook calls us all the time trying to send us up. They're like, I feel like when they go and they try to give you advice and stuff, they're like trying to advance. Let's take a sales thing. Like, let me advance our revenue because you're doing numbers. Like for cheap. Let me help you out. We'll boost that a little bit.
Yeah.
I've never seen a good return on that investment, by the way.
At all.
So somehow you don't get good returns. What's going on with it?
Not on that. Pay to play is not going to get you good return. I think pay to play can get you validated though. Like if you have like 30,000 followers and you do some ad spin on a post to kind of get your like reels or get exposure on something, it's not botting, right? It's not getting fake people to do it. It's like you start advertising your music, and you're advertising whatever you're advertising. I run ads all the time.
Yeah,
it's not. Everybody's like, oh, that's cat, man. It's not organic, but it's like you have to get in front of the people. The more people I get in front of 100,000 people,
the algorithm's only putting it in the people that's following you. The promotions is basically putting you to other people.
So other people watching you.
I know my return rate on every 100,000 people that view my video. I have 10 people that buy a reservation,
right?
And that might cost me $1,000. And each reservation, my average reservation is $2,500. So you do the math.
So it's worth $1,000.
How often do you invest your $1,000 every week?
I spend
every day,
I probably spend like 15-20K on ad spend a month.
Yeah,
easily.
And you know what? I seen this in this book, and he was saying that the more bigger you want your stuff to be, the more money you got to put into the promotions and marketing.
Absolutely.
I think everybody's gonna think it's gonna happen overnight. Like, man, I'm running Google ads, Facebook ads, like.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who had a good marketing strategy.
Back of magazine ads.
If you look at Lil Pump, right? Remember they did the 10K run with Snapchat when they had the little emoji that was dancing, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Gucci gang.
Yeah. Okay.
So he invested in that, but how many people seen that though?
Exactly. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Or just even think about like that people that like just come onto the platform. Just say you start doing a little funny dance, and a little funny dance takes you to the next level, and then it dies off. But then you throw an ad spin to a new dance or a new this and new that. Like, look at a Soulja Boy. Like, Soulja Boy was one of the first ones on YouTube, on all these platforms, like just putting themselves out there. That dude does ad spin. I've seen ads on all these people, and so when I hear people like, "No, I ain't doing ads," I'm like, I see ads for people that you think aren't doing
ads. Do the ads. Everybody do ads. That's smart.
I mean, Jay-Z puts his records on buses. That's advertising.
That's advertising, right?
Why would you not do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's nothing against it.
I want to get a billboard. Like, I want to get a billboard here in Houston. Like, I think, there's other parts of advertising that I don't take advantage of. Like, I think, like, who looks at a billboard? I'm like, but I'm always reading billboards.
Yeah.
So I always said this, though. I told me and my team, I said, we should have a billboard. Like, if we all got different businesses, we put our money in and say, hey, we're going to do this billboard. So basically say, when you come to Houston, holler at this person for this person for this, and just think about it. 3 entrepreneurs on top of a billboard.
Bro, I'll be a hit.
Exactly. As soon as you come hit 45, you seeing them. This is the guys you need to talk to.
And then think about how many people visit in Houston.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, Houston's like constantly people coming in and out.
Exactly.
On I-10, you got a billboard.
And then look, you can have the shittiest service, but if somebody see you on that billboard, they're gonna say the best burgers. Let me go over here. They got a big billboard.
Let me go try it.
I'm in Houston. I don't know where to go, but I'm looking at this big billboard that says they got the best burgers. So
exactly.
That's where I'm gonna go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's actually how I found the burger. That's good.
So what's some good advice you give to an artist that's trying to get into the industry and get placements, do the things that you're doing?
Man, I would just say just make sure you staying relevant on your content. Because it becomes bigger than the record sometimes. People hear great music, but they want to figure out who the person is.
Right.
So just stay on, make your online presence be real relevant, man, and that'll get you a lot of places that you're trying to go. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at what's her name, is it F&F?
Glorilla.
Right, her. However you say it.
Glorilla.
Right. She took that one record. I think it did like 1 billion views or something like that on TikTok.
And just being her organic self.
Organic. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It was like a 1-2 step, man. So that's really what you got to do, honestly. Just be relevant, man.
Right.
That's some great advice, and it's. I think we've covered a lot of the basis in order to how to manage that, and when it does go off, and you are about to hit success or you're about to shoot up to it, we know how to set boundaries and let things go, and how to advance forward with new, fresh ideas and fresh people around you.
And that's one thing important right here is knowing your boundaries.
Yeah.
And you have to, one thing is letting go of people, and sometimes you just gotta let it go. And sometimes, as for me as an entrepreneur, sometimes I get attached. Mm-hmm. I get so close to them because I'm pouring out my heart, I'm pouring out my energy, I'm pouring out my time. I'm there Monday through Sunday with them. I'm counseling with them. I'm working with them. I'm hey, what do you need my car? Here you go. Take it, man. Go fuck it.
That's the crazy thing is when you got people that's working with you and they're going through issues, like even mental issues,
like counseling and everything.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But you got to give them grace. You got to give them grace and give them time to go through their things, because at the end of the day, I look at people like this here, like, let's just say somebody could be 10 years younger than you and be great at what they do, but at the same time, they haven't hit those life obstacles yet. So they got to go through those different things. Right. So it's like, you give people their time, but at the same time, you got to have a backup.
Absolutely.
That's one thing. And that's one thing you said right there, Sam. You have to have a backup. And one thing I didn't realize in my industry is like, hey, look, man, you gotta let it go. You gotta give their time, let them heal, let them go through the process that they're going through. But just let them know, like, hey, look, the door's always open here. But you as an entrepreneur gotta keep on. Okay, what's my next move?
Yeah. And then the thing about it too, people gotta communicate. Yeah. So a lot of time people be struggling and battling things in silence.
But get to know people too. Like take the effort. Like if you see somebody that's not like a person that's they're closed off. They're not very social. Like take the initiative to learn who they are, get to know them, so you can help them out through their journey. And y'all can, and it's a relationship that needs to be established so y'all can move forward.
Yeah, especially like let's just say like little things like when companies do company events.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's something that needs to be happening with all kinds of companies, like group events or whatever. Like take your set of videographers to go shoot pool or something. Like you got to build that bond with your people, because once you build that great
really
bond,
and then your clients too. I think it's even extending that to like do that with your clients, like
deals and stuff like that.
I agree with you on this part. You have to take them out Top Golf. You gotta take them out shoot some pool. You gotta take them with the jet skis and everything.
Exactly.
You gotta do things with your people. If you're not doing things with your people, then what happens is they don't feel that love with you. So
they feel like it's all work, and you don't want it to be all work.
You want to make sure it's a lifestyle part of it. It's a lifestyle. You're enjoying it. You're having fun with them, and it's more important. And that's how you're gonna grow your organization strong.
Right.
But if you're just thinking about, bro, we gotta work, they're gonna be like, man, dude, all this guy wants to do is just work. But if you put the work with having fun and you mix it, it's like it's like I'm having fun with Sam, I'm having fun with 1840, or having fun with whoever you're working with. So that's an important thing that I look at.
Yeah,
definitely.
So it's time.
You got anything else coming out that anybody should be looking out for?
Man. So on the next project, we got Finessing featuring me. Well, Kevin Gates, my record. So I'm excited about that joint, man. It's dropping soon. So
okay, that's what's up, man. So.
All right, so it's time podcast, and it's time. We're out of time, and we're about to go and get busy.
So we got.